Hey guys, Andrew Piercy, FSU MBA, and today we're going to talk about dividends. What a dividend is, and do all companies pay them, and how do they pay them, how often, and so on. If you are an experienced investor, this might not be the best video for you. I would recommend checking out my playlist that talks about stocks in focus. Check it out right here. If you are a beginner or somebody that's learning or a novice, this is definitely the video for you. A dividend is a payout that a corporation says we're going to give back as a reward to our shareholders. So it's usually paid out of profits. Now, some companies, to keep their share price at a certain level, might pay some of that dividend out of debt. That is a dangerous game. We're not going to talk about that in this video. However, companies usually sit down in their meetings and they say, hey, listen, we're doing really well. We're making record profits. Our numbers are really good. Our top line revenue is great. Our net income is great. How about we give some of that or a portion of that back to the shareholders? They bet on us. They gambled on us. And you know what? We're going to reward them for their loyalty or for their investment. How often do companies pay dividends? Some companies pay them quarterly or every 3 months. Others pay them annually. Not a whole lot of North American companies pay them annually. If there are North American companies that pay them annually, feel free to fire those into the description of the video. I'd love to take a deeper dive into them. Usually you see them like companies like Taiwan Semiconductor, they pay annual. ASE Technology, we've got a video of that. Check out the video right here. They pay annually. However, most companies pay quarterly, every 3 months, semi-annually, twice a year, or monthly, which is 12 times a year. Personally, I like monthly, but quarterly is really the sweet spot in North America for individual corporations and how they pay dividends. Does every company pay a dividend? No, they don't. Some companies, popular ones that you might be familiar with, would be Google. Google does not pay a dividend as of this video. I think it's very selfish of them personally. I think that they should pay a dividend. They come out and say that they want the extra cash for research and development, but how much do you need? They have billions of cash on hand. Another popular one is Tesla. They don't pay a dividend. I think the Cybertruck's pretty cool and some of their whips are pretty cool. Feel free to comment on which Tesla car you like in the description below. Well, how do companies determine the dividend? How do they know how much or how little to pay? Well, they're going to look at their profits and look at how much money that they have on hand and say, well, we're going to pay out 30% of our profits to investors as dividends, or maybe 50, or maybe 60. That is up to the individual company. However, there are corporations like real estate investment trusts that are required by law to pay out 90% of their profits or net income as dividends, or they call them distributions to shareholders. Personally, when I look at payout ratios, I like to see companies that have payout ratios below 50%, because there's a little bit of wiggle room if the company has a couple of bad quarters or a bad year. And it also gives the company some wiggle room to increase the dividend, which is every investor's dream. They get to make more money passively. Can dividends change? Can the amount that a company pays out change? Yes, it can. Some companies increase their dividend every year. Some increase it every 2 years. Some companies, every quarter, the dividend fluctuates. It really comes down to the individual company, what they choose to do. However, when you are purchasing companies and you are what we call an income investor, somebody who's looking for income from their investments, a monthly or quarterly income, I would recommend looking for companies that have history and reputation for increasing their dividends every year or every couple of years. And that growth streak has continued over many years. Some companies, like a dividend aristocrat is what they're called, those companies have increased their dividend consistently year over year for over 25 years. So those companies are very solid companies that have great financials, that have high competitive advantages, or as Warren Buffett would say, a very large moat around its business. So in total, how much could a company pay out in dividends a year? Here's how I can calculate that. Say the company has 1 million shares outstanding. They pay out $1 per year in dividends per share. Take that $1 and multiply it by 1 million shares outstanding, then the company pays out $1 million in dividends per year. Last but not least, do I like dividends? I absolutely, positively love dividends because I love passive income. I call it money while I'm sleeping, and I think money while you're sleeping is excellent because worked hour time is money, and if you're spending all your time working, you don't get to do the vacations, you don't get to travel, and dividends give us that flexibility. If you're making $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a month from dividends, maybe you say, you know what, I'm done. I'm not working anymore. I'm just gonna live off my dividend income. And a lot of retired people do this. They hit a certain amount of dividend income per month or per quarter, and they just say, you know what, it's not worth it. I'm gonna play tennis and golf all the time and just collect my monthly or quarterly paychecks because I invested my money and now I'm reaping the rewards of investing. And this is a reason why you invest in the first place, because you're betting on a greater tomorrow and you want that passive income and you potentially want to grow your money. And the stock market, in my personal opinion, this is not financial advice, is a fantastic place to grow your money. Well, that's it. I'm AP. Feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. We would really appreciate it. We want to make investing less scary, and we also want to make you some money. And that is our two primary goals of the channel. Thank you very much for watching. Talk soon.